Okay, I'm going to use some of my discard for my sourdough. And the container I have it in is our Epicure thermos because it needs to be tightly closed in the fridge. If you're leaving it out on the counter, that's your actual starter. I'm using the discard, so I just pulled it out of the fridge. It is right here. And it calls for half a cup. This thing is actually almost full of my starter, so yum. It smells amazing. Oh, it smells good. It smells like bread. So we're going to take, this is my half cup. This is kind of a pitiful half cup. It calls for a half cup of our starter, or discard. And so we're going to put a half cup of that. Might be a tiny bit more than half a cup, but we're going to just put that in there. There we go. Now we got to get that out of there. We're going to make sure we scrape every last bit because we want it to be delicious. Basically, instead of using some of our like wet ingredients, that's where your discard and your starter come from when you actually want to bake. You replace some of the liquids with that. So I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to hold on to this just in case I need to scrape, and we're going to put that right there too. They're on the edge of the sink. So far we have just our discard, which I still have half a container of. Oh, it smells amazing. Now I need to wipe the rim before I can put it back in the fridge. Get a paper towel, because we don't want it to stick, but yet we want it to be good. There we go. I'm going to put that right there. Whoop. We're going to throw the lid. And I'm just putting it on finger tight. So it's just finger tight. Otherwise, I would not be able to open it. So now we're going to come in. This is cold. It's going to hold it cold while we're doing this. We're going to come in with our peanut butter. It calls for 1.5 cups of peanut butter. I'm going to guesstimate on how much that is because I like peanut butter cookies, and when I do peanut butter cookies, they need to be peanut butter. So this is the one part that I will not measure. That's about roughly the equivalent of half a cup. So there's our peanut butter. So another scoop, which my peanut butter is a little hard. There's 1 cup. We're going to do a little bit more. Because when it comes to peanut butter cookies, they need to be peanut buttery. And I'm scraping my spoon on my the whisks are in my thing. So now I'm going to use this, and I'm going to scrape as much of that peanut butter off as I can too. Get all that peanut butter. Because we want it delicious. We want it to be delicious. That's going to go in there. That's going to go right there. Okay. Now my recipe is right here. I got it written down. So we did our peanut butter, and it calls for half a cup of brown sugar. Brown sugar is right here. Yes, I got everything out ahead of time. So we're going to get half a cup. My brown sugar is getting a little hard. I'm going to need to put a piece of bread or crackers in there. Smash it against the side to where it's packed. There's our brown sugar. So now a half cup of white sugar. Put our lid back on our peanut butter. So a half cup of white sugar. Our white sugar is right here as well. We're going to put the lid back on the brown sugar. So our white sugar. And I take out my crackers first before I do this, because yes, I did put crackers in here because it started to clump. And we don't want the clumps. See, now I can just break those. Okay, there's a half cup of white sugar. So we're going to pour that in. And then we got to put our egg in there, and then we're going to mix our wet ingredients together before we add our flour. So I will do this part offline so you guys don't get annoyed by the loud noise. Did I add the butter yet? No, I did not. So I got to add the butter still. Butter. It wants 1/4 of a cup of butter. I'm just going to do a little bit because our peanut butter has a lot in it already. I'm going to do about maybe a tablespoon and a half of butter. You can measure it out if you really think you need to. I like almost never measure out my butter. So, there we go. And then our egg is going to go in there as well. So we have our egg. Eggy. Okay. Now I am going to do the whole mixy, and so I will come back when that part is done and we'll add our flour. Okay, now that I have that done, we're going to come in with our baking powder. We're going to put 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, and this is a 1/4 teaspoon. We're going to put that in. And now that's going to go in the sink. Now it calls for 1½ cups of flour, and then it wants a 1/4 teaspoon of salt as well. So I didn't need to put that in the sink quite yet. We got it out. I'm going to open up the salt to get the salt. So we're going to get our salt. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now we're going to go ahead and close that. We're going to close you. And we're going to put the lid on you. We're going to stick you to the side. Next comes our flour. Now that can go in the sink. For our flour, oh, I have my 1 cup measuring cup already in here. Yay! We're going to get 1 cup. I'm going to loosely use the back of a knife to actually pat it in, and then we're going to just scrape off. Okay, there is 1 cup. How much did I say? 1½ Okay, so here's our 1/2 cup. And when you go to start this, you want to do it low and slow, because otherwise your flour is going to go poof. We're going to set that right there, and then that right there. And then my crock pot's over here cooking dinner. Yum. I just wanted to do this. Okay, now I'm going to save your ears, and I'm going to mix it off camera, but it is literally right here. Now I want to show you this. Look at this. Look at how delicious that dough looks. The way peanut butter cookie dough should go. We use the sourdough discard. So, and I've already tried a little bit of the dough because it's peanut butter. Yum. Now you can bake at 375 for 15 minutes, or until it's done to your liking. I normally do 13 to 15 minutes. So, yum. I will post a picture of it when it is actually done.